as we're about to watch this commence. We're about to watch the start of this IFRL race. The lights will come on. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and it is 5 to see how the Australian GP will go. It's lights out and away we go. Let's see how they're going to be all coming down here. The pit lane is about to get told to go. The race is going to get a little bit of a getaway there, but into the lead. Dom keeps the first position. Looks to me that we're having a juggling batch in the second spot. Not sure what's happening there. Chris is pulling out into second place as it stands on my screen. But Dom getting an absolute splendid getaway. He's been able to really get some strides out, really get himself away from the pack. 8 tenths from himself to Bali. Then it's Chris. Chris seems to be having the second place. All of them coming to that chicane, and it looks to me a lot of them having incidents there. Susan getting it all wrong into turn 5. It looks to me that Outguard's apparently leading the GP, but I don't know what's going on there. Might be internet issues, but Dom H leads us away. Looks to me that Chris is in second. This Dom H looks a little bit too fast in my opinion, but it may be due to the tyres that he's been on. So Dom H leads us away. Then we have Chris. Then we have Bali Pepe. Outguard has been able to glitch up in the leaderboard. I'm not sure what's going on with his little hacks there, but obviously, of course, for the first time in his career, Dom H has actually been able to get a really good getaway here. He's been really able to fight it on and to get it into the best position. He is flying away from everyone. Evan, then Chris, then Bali Pepe, then Dennis, then Outguard. I'm not sure where he's. I'm not sure what's going on here. 39 seconds from Outguard to Dom H, but now, since I know that this thing will eventually fix itself, Dom H does lead predominantly, but yeah, you know, he's got the fastest in his first. He's on the softs, going for a different type of strategy. He's going to need to have an overcut actually on these guys, because you know Dom H has really been able to step it out and step away from the pack for the time being, but there could be the risk of a safety car. Such things happening back here. We've got Razor really far behind, but he's able to really make amends, passing Jaden already. 14 seconds Jaden is away from the front of the field, but he is going to keep going, keep pushing, and he's eventually going to be able to catch up with the different circumstances that this race may bring, as Dom H still taking the fastest first and second sector, looking to also be able to notoriously get further away from these lads. He is absolutely going for it. He is sending it through every single corner, through every single section, bumps all over the place. It is obvious that this man has really been able to get away from these drivers. Looks a little bit strange from my end, but you know, can't say too much here. I'm going to be keeping my lips sealed shut for the time being and then see after this race. Bali Pepe is in third place. Then we've got Stealthy. There's Camset SC. Who's that? Oh wow, is that Outguard? Yes, it is Outguard. Unbelievable. Outguard has been able to crash on the circuit, so the safety car has been called out. It's been called out, and the safety car has come out on lap 4 of this race. It's Dom, Chris, Bali, Denny Dennis, then Stealthy, then Evan, then Sus M, and then we've got Pikachu. Let's make sure that these riders are going to be lining up, because we will let you lead us away. Please wait at the first turn as the drivers will be catching up. We're going to be watching every single ounce of this spot, as you know, we do have some drivers which tend to do some strange things. No erratic maneuvers at the restart, but alright. Dom H has really been gifted here. He has had Outguard crashing out very much early on here. Outguard is he's made a mistake way too early, but you know, everyone's coming into the pits. Sozem on the other hand is going to see the safety. Is in the pit lane, and Sozem slides into the pit lane as well, almost dying there, as they're all going to be running into the pits, as of course their tyres are all dead, and here they all come running into the pit lane. The drivers have now had to come in and make a tyre change. 5% chance of things changing, and really this is going to make an effect on who's going to be able to take the lead in this race. Is Rush leading? Yes, he is. He's on the Inters, and Rush has made a magnificent strategy call. Somehow, in his luck, in his place, Rush leads the gang Australian GP, but for how long can he be able to hang on outside? The only ever time that guy will lead be horrible, as Rush leads by a long shot, as they all had to pit, and he got lucky. He decided to come in later, and the rain changed for him. So Rush leads us away. Dom is in second. You might even say someone else is in second, but Dom has somehow been able to get an extraordinary wet start here, and Rush has really made an emphasis in himself, as Rush is getting himself away. 8.7 seconds is the gap from Dom H to Rush for the time being, at least. And then we've got a huge gap from Evan to the rest of the field. So Rush has really been able to make it up for himself, but is he on the right tyre compound? That is the real question. Maybe it will increase, maybe it will decrease. It is all depending on what these drivers know, of what these drivers have to say. Rush comes into the pit lane. He thinks the Inters weren't the right choice. He comes into the pits. He makes his tyre change, and Peak is apparently into second place, but I'm not sure. Maybe it is the Inters, maybe it is the wets. We're going to need to wait and see. Peak has this huge slide, and it seems to be that it's wets. It is the time for the wets to come out here, as the Inters are starting to degrade. They're starting to fall away from these guys, as Dom H leads us away on the Inters, though. He's really been able to get something down here. He's going to get probably his first ever win in IFRL, but 20 laps to go until that is decided. Let's see what's going to happen here. Bali Pepe also trying to make an emphasis on his championship run here. He's going to need to get a good result in this GP. We've got 20 laps to see how that will go down, how that will happen in this. H, on the other hand, still leads us away. 2.8 seconds now, the gap from Evan to Dutch. Now we go back up to the front. We're going to be watching him very, very closely. Huge slide for Dom H into the wall, and that brings Evan into the lead of the race. He hasn't led a race in the IFL Season 4 for Jaden. Evan, on the other hand, is now pulling away Dom H, and it is another track change, another session change. I'm not sure what's happening here. I don't figure it out. I have recording proof. Evan leads the GP by 1.4 seconds. Was it worth the risk? They say, was it worth the risk to come into the pits? Needs to keep the hammer down, needs to keep pushing, needs to keep going, as Dom has almost come into the pits. He's missed the pit lane. Dom H stays out another lap. What is the plan here? It's not right back into it for Season 4, and Evan, on the other hand, he has really made emphasis on why he needs to be up here, as Dom H is, he's coming into the pits finally. He's going to be behind, but really the strategy is going to be coming in to his favor. Dom H pits, and he's going to have a tire change, so this is going to really see, is it a long stop? No, it isn't, and Evan's going to come out ahead. Danny Denner will eventually come out ahead. I'm not sure if the DRS is going to even help him, because he didn't get any, and they both overtake Dom, but Dom will come out ahead, behind the Aston Martin, but ahead of the Red Bull, and he's going to have the medium tire on, so he's going to have the advantage coming into the end of this race. Evan conspires and overtakes Dom H, and now he needs to notch those tires all the way to the end. Evan now is going to have his team, everyone rooting for him to get this W, as he said in the Alpine event launch. He said, let's go get that W, and really he is at the pinnacle of this spot. He's going to now need to go and get that W. If he can do it, maybe he can't, because he's got Chris behind on a purple in his first sector. Chris is also another man very hungry to take a win in IFRL Season 4. He's been dying for it. He has been thirsting for it. He's been waiting day and night. Chris, he's had gone, as Jay said, is he's lost the tire. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, he's at 0 degrees. Wait, what? Wait, safety car for what? What safety car? He's on the track. No, but he hasn't crashed. No S. He hasn't crashed, mate. He's just doing donuts. JZ has done a few donuts, burnt some fuel, and is somehow having 134% on his tyres. Evan has now been gained on by Dom H. Gray, your commentaries. But anyway, we're going to get the DRS swing straight up, and if they're in this GP, he overtakes Evan. I'm going to try and get you on. But, yeah. Running away with it. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Huge slide Denny Denner gets onto the curb, and he's also going to get a patch of DRS, which brings Razor right back into it. Goodness me, brings Evan back into it. Razor is not going to be able to get a lunge up from Dom H, which is now followed by the Aston Martin and the Alpine. 4 cars are about to be battling. Going to be 3 laps, if my math is correct. 2 laps, including this one, of course. Then we're going to be on to the last couple of laps here. Razor's starting to run away with it, starting to pull away. Dom H is going to need to find the pace to close up and get the DRS. Yes, he does. Dom H, DRS down this back stretch. Is it going to be enough to get him close enough to the Red Bull car? No, it's not. He's going to need to wait until we get onto the longest straight, the longest probably straight of this entire circuit, unless I'm wrong again. But here we go. This is going to get absolutely tantalizing, absolutely outrageous. Dom H is almost cutting through every single turn to catch up to Razor. Razor now leads the Australian GP. Will it be his win? Will it be a matter of positioning of greatness to get himself up there for the championship? But let's see what's going to happen now. We've got 2 laps to decide this race when Razor's going to be hanging on for dear life. Dom H is going to be pushing with his utmost heart on his sleeve, and he's going to try and get his first ever win, try and absolutely send it here, as he knows that Razor has got the pace, he's got the RB19, and he has got the gap of 1.5 seconds from himself to Dom H. Dom H needs to focus, lock in, and use all the track that he can to get himself closer to the Red Bull. Will it happen today? Will it happen tomorrow? Will it happen next week? Let's watch what's happening here. Goodness me, I had to get distracted that bad. Okay, it's 2.1 seconds from Razor to the rest of them, so maybe Dom H has decided not to get his win. This will put Razor on a very good high unless he messes this up. 2.1 seconds. Is the gap to everyone else, unless it starts to rain. It's raining on the last lap of this race. Unbelievable stuff. Not enough to make a difference though, but yet again we have another change in Australia. Dom H is now going to be trying, but his Razor slips. Now Razor's got this in the bag. The man coming from Malaysia. Next weekend is his home weekend, but Razor knows and will know that this is a very important win to start his hopes at getting an IFRL championship. Razor, for the first time in his career, will win the Australian GP. Razor's done it in IFRL and he's made a statement. Dom H is locked out, he's made a mistake and he's going to have second place. Razor wins the Australian GP. Evan finishes on 4th, missing out on the podium by 1 position. Barley Pepe